rock star. It's not all drugs, sex, and rock and roll. With long hours on the road and late-night concerts, making it to the top takes hard work and dedication. We caught up with IRS recording artist Gren on tour and living their dream on a day in the life.
Came up with the band Gren through a trade magazine in Los Angeles called Music Connection. A lot of musicians advertise in there, and it's kind of like a personals section for wannabe band members. So Possum, our drummer, had an ad in there as well, and I was flipping through looking for drummers, and he had his ad in there. I called him, and I was like, you know, I'd like to get together with you and talk to you, let you hear what I'm trying to do. So he came over, played him a tape of a little demo I made in my closet, and he was like, yeah, this is really good. We should jam together. I was like, well, I wouldn't mind doing that, but I haven't found a bass player yet. He goes, I know somebody. Marcus Gonzalez. He's looking for a side project. He's in a band right now, but I think he would really dig your stuff. So about a week later, we got together, played one rehearsal, and those are the only two guys that's, other than myself, that's been in Gren. So it worked really well. Well, I'd always been just a guitarist in various other bands, some local bands in Jacksonville here. Went out to LA, actually went out there to do jingles. That's the reason I went out there. I wanted to do jingle music. Found that was a little difficult to get into. So in the meantime, I was like, well, while I'm here, I might as well, you know, try to get in a band, maybe play Hollywood, you know, so I could write home and tell everyone I played in Hollywood. Did that, liked it, found out that I was actually okay at doing it. And after about 2 years, I was a little dissatisfied with just doing the guitar thing. I kind of wanted to write. I'd bring music into the bands, and they would take it and completely transform it into something that I didn't intend to in the first place. And I always thought to myself, well, yeah, that's not the way I hear it. You know, I really wish you would do it this way. So out of frustration, I quit the bands I was in and tried to convince myself that I should try to front a band. I never really sang in a band before. Didn't know if I could do it. So I spent a year writing and trying to get the nerves up to take the chance and see if I could do it. Put the ad in the Music Connection, and like I said, found Possum and Marcus.
My name is Possum. I got green hair this week, and I play drums for Gren. Started in junior high. I played a concert band, you know, doing a class type of thing. And my parents bought me a little, like, really cheesy drum kit when I was in 10th grade. Started playing to, like, AC/DC records and Led Zeppelin, just with the headphones, learning how to play, and just developed from that. Never got any action as far as females in high school until I got in a band. Let my hair grow long, started playing some parties, and I started getting dates. I was like, wait, I'm onto something here. So, no, I just kept playing because I dug it. And great way to meet people. You know, as far as, like, socially, it's it's great. We got signed really quick, you know, and it also happened in a city where there's 5 to 6,000 bands playing in a week. And we got noticed quickly, got a deal quickly. It's one of those things like with a girl, well, a girl with a guy also, like in a relationship. If you meet someone and you kind of click right off the bat, you know it. If you got to work at it and go through a lot of stuff and it doesn't seem like it's really going anywhere fast, it's probably not going to happen. But it happened really quick with us, and I think it's going to last. We all get along really good. We're all in the same vibe. Everyone's thinking the same way. No one's screwed up on drugs. You know, that's another thing about being in a band. Everyone thinks, oh, you know, drugs, this and that, and that's not the case at all, you know. We drink some beers, just like everybody else. I mean, you play at a bar every night. Of course you're going to drink beer, you know, but that's it.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Marcus Gonzalez, and I'm the only Mexican in the band Gren, and well, I play the bass, and I have a lot of fun. That's all I do. And actually, everybody in our band rags on each other, so that's what we all do. Basically, when I was like 16, I picked up the guitar, and then when I was like 18, I played my first party with some friends, and it was just in a garage, and pretty soon some chicks came up to me. Oh my God, you play? That was you up there? And that's when I just go, yeah, I want to do this. And that's how I got here. I just started playing, played with a couple bands, met up with Possum. We used to play in separate bands, but we became pretty good friends. And then he gave me Brett's tape. And that's how I am here.
The sound of Gren wasn't necessarily intentional. It just kind of happened that way. I kind of wanted to have a little bit more aggressive edge than the bands that I was in before. I wanted to be a little louder, a little more distortion. So it kind of just developed into that. I guess given Possum and Marcus, we were kind of into similar kinds of music at the time. So that I'm sure that was, you know, the groundwork for the sound that we have now. I didn't have it in my mind at first what exactly I wanted it to sound like. I just had the songs and wanted to see what we could do with it.
Have you played out Shades before?
We haven't played Jacksonville.
It's hard to believe since you're being from here.
Yeah.
It's great. It's wacky. Did you play in any bands like around town that people would know?
Actually, I used to play with Brian, the cameraman.
Get out of here,
No,
Brian.
I'm serious.
You and Brian, get out.
No, really, get out. Yeah, we recorded like 3 or 4 songs.
We try to, whenever we can, play something that will appeal to people who live in Jacksonville. We found out around the way that Brent grew up in Jacksonville. This is a true story. We put the record on the air, we played it a few times. He was home for Christmas holiday, and he heard the record on the radio station. He drove to the radio station, and he set it on the afternoon show, which I think with us led us to take a little more stock in the band, because he, you know, Beaner actually got together with him, and he was on his show. It made us pay a little more attention to it. The project as it is probably made us spend a little more time with it, and the record sold in town, so we just played it.
Planet Radio 93.3, the new rock alternative. In the studio with us are the guys from Gren. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Well, introduce yourselves so we know who's talking.
My name's Marcus. I'm the bass player.
My name's Possum. I'm the drummer.
I'm Brett. I pull up the rear.
Hi, Cubby and Ed.
No fun.
Now, Brett, you're from Jacksonville.
Yeah, I went to high school and college here.
He started saying, I graduated. Well, I went to high school and college. Is there a story there? I don't know.
Not a story I want to get into.
Very well, Mom and Dad are listening.
GED.
I went to University Christian.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't even know if it's still around.
I don't think so. I don't know.
There's a reason why.
Everybody comes to our radio station. Our afternoon and night shows here are like a revolving door of who's who. For some reason, it's one of the things that this station does pretty good. And I've got some guys who know the music and can talk about the music with them and just make them feel at ease. That's half of it. Because they're going into strange places and they don't know anything about anybody. And if you got a host or somebody on the air who can make them feel comfortable, you can get some chemistry, you can get some fun stuff on the air too.
I want to thank you for being on the show. This is the first time you played here. Hard to believe.
Yeah, I know. You know what? We've been out for 250 days now, and this is the first time to actually play in Jacksonville, which is beyond me, but we're glad we're here. We hope it turns out good tonight.
I got to say, I have to take credit for this. Okay. Myself and Scott Stranger, our night guy.
Cool.
The first time Gren ever got played on the radio in Jacksonville was about a year ago. We used to do this like 2-man show, me and Scott, called Off Ramp. And we played the next song we're going to play, pop songs. We listened to the whole album, and that was my favorite song on the album. The record label was really pushing the song, and the song didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, we don't understand that.
Because it just goes to show you that, you know, we don't know crap.
Well, obviously you do, because that's a good song.
Well, I'm going to play it now, and then I'm going to try to get you guys. Will you play something for us here in the studio?
Try to whip something up.
Yeah, well, you having that guitar and all, I thought maybe it was just sort of a movie that you carry around. But yeah, we'll do pop songs. We'll be right back to chat with Gren on Planet Radio.
Gren sound? Gren is like a cross between probably how many bands. I don't think they have a particularly unique sound to themselves. But I hear that much REM in there. A little bit of, what was the new term we have, pop punk. But they're not really a punk band. They're a lot different live than they are on the album. The album's a little softer than their live performance.
Making friends, that's okay. And all those years that she had spent at the coffee house, there's nothing more than a halfway dream.
It's interesting to meet the bands. It's interesting to find out more about the bands, and I think from that side, it's interesting for the audience to find out a little bit more about the band than just reading liner notes from the CD. Or having us say something about them that maybe we know about the band. So I think it's beneficial for them to come into the radio station and talk about themselves and talk about the kind of music that they're trying to deliver and talk about their act and what people can expect from the show. On the other hand, you got to feel bad for these artists who are run from town to town to town to town to town and do 3, 4, 5, 6 radio stations a day. And it's tough for them to communicate after doing 4 or 5 of these things exactly what they're trying to do.
Guys, I really appreciate you being in the studio.
Thanks for having us here.
I'd like to have you sign our door, because, you know, we're having all our bands that stop in to see us sign our little door. So we'll have you do that. But we'll do one from Gren, Trippin' the Life. It's the new one. What about the song? Tell us about it. What's it about?
I opened a bad can of Dinty Moore stew one time and wrote the song from the hallucinations. Hallucinations? I just coined a new word.
I think you're having one of them now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. New stuff from Brett, featuring the dangers of Dinty Moore. It's Trippin' the Life on Planet Radio.
Kind of stage fright when I'm up there, but I can get into a mindset where it's not really like these people are watching me, they just happen to be there,